Welcome to the True Tomorrow's podcast. Get ready for another cool weekly science fiction probe.
Into wild galactic tales.
Yeah, from flash fiction. You know those stories that bring you those blockbusters sci-fi feels, but in like bite-sized stories?
Absolutely. Perfect for a quick dose of galactic adventure.
Exactly. And this time we're diving into not just one, but two fascinating flash fiction stories. First up, we've got King Kong in Space. It's about, well, you guessed it, a genetically enhanced gorilla on a rather unexpected journey among the stars.
Sounds intriguing. And then we'll switch gears completely and explore the red sands of Mars and beyond with Dorian Gray in Space. A tale featuring an ageless art conservator with a pretty mysterious past.
Think of this as your fast track to really getting these imaginative narratives, you know? We'll be highlighting those really interesting parts, the thought-provoking ideas, and those surprising twists that just make you go, whoa, didn't see that coming.
Exactly. So buckle up and get ready for some serious science fiction probing.
All right, let's jump straight into King Kong in Space. This flash fiction story, it starts on this spaceship, the Odyssey. They're on their way to Nexus 5, an Earth-like exoplanet, you know, their mission destination.
Right. And immediately we're introduced to Dr. Lena Evans, the chief geneticist on board. But what's interesting is her unique bond with, well, let's just say, one of the ship's more unusual passengers.
You mean Kong, the genetically enhanced gorilla.
That's the one. He's on board to handle the heavy lifting once they land on Nexus 5, help establish the colony. But Lena, she sees something more in him, something beyond just brute strength.
You see that contrast from the get-go. Lena firmly believes in Kong's sentience. She interacts with him almost as an equal, which of course puts her at odds with others on board, especially Dr. Samuel Hayes. He's got that more practical, utilitarian view. Kong's a tool, a means to an end. It really makes you think about how we define intelligence, especially when it comes to beings we've engineered ourselves.
Absolutely. And the flash fiction story gives us this glimpse into Kong's habitat, this large, specialized enclosure designed to, well, I guess, mimic a more natural environment. But he's not just sitting there, He's actively engaged with this complex puzzle. It even describes his massive hands as being surprisingly deft as he manipulates these intricate pieces.
It challenges your expectations, right? You've got this creature designed for raw power, but he's exhibiting problem-solving skills, a level of cognitive function that goes way beyond what anyone expected. It raises a really important ethical question. What obligations do we have towards beings we create that demonstrate intelligence, even if their initial purpose was purely functional?
It's a question that hangs over the entire story. And then, just when you think you've got a handle on things, the narrative throws you a major curveball. A massive solar flare hits the Odyssey, and everything goes haywire. Alarms are blaring, systems are failing. It's pure chaos, like something straight out of a disaster movie, but in space.
Totally. And amidst all this panic, you've got Captain Elaine Mercer trying desperately to hold things together. You can tell she's experienced, a true professional, but even she's struggling to regain control. Their engineer, Alexei Petrov, reports navigation is down, and they're on a direct collision course with Nexus 5. What was a mission of exploration suddenly becomes a desperate fight for survival.
And the impact, when it comes, is brutal. The Odyssey crash lands on Nexus 5. While it's not completely destroyed, the ship is definitely grounded, heavily damaged. Vital systems are offline. It's not the arrival they were expecting.
And amidst all the emergency protocols and damage assessment, Lena has one overriding concern. Kong's enclosure was breached in the crash, and he's now loose on this alien planet. It really highlights the depth of her connection with him, how her concern for his well-being trumps everything else.
It creates a conflict, right? Because Captain Mercer's priority is securing the crash site, accounting for the crew, setting up defenses, the standard emergency response. From her perspective, Kong is another variable, a potential danger in an already volatile situation.
Exactly. You have Lena arguing that they need to find Kong, that he trusts her and wouldn't intentionally harm anyone. And then you've got Samuel, who sees Kong as a complete wild card in this new environment. How's the genetically modified gorilla going to react to alien plants and animals? Who knows what kind of chaos he could cause?
It's a legitimate concern. But Lena, she's determined. She convinces a small team to venture out into this dense alien jungle to search for Kong. And the flash fiction story, it really paints this vivid picture of Nexus 5, the strange, almost otherworldly vegetation, the unsettling sounds of creatures they can't even see. It really drives home the fact that they're not on Earth anymore.
It's that classic mix of wonder and fear, right? That human instinct to explore, even when facing the unknown. And back at the crash site, Captain Mercer's dealing with a whole other set of challenges. They're racing against time to establish a base camp, figure out some kind of defense against potential threats, ration their dwindling supplies, and try desperately to get a distress signal back to Earth. They are completely isolated.
Isolated and in a race against time. And out in the jungle, Lena's team, they catch a brief glimpse of Kong. There's a moment of recognition, like he knows her, but then he's startled by something, probably one of their drones, and disappears back into the undergrowth.
It's a fleeting moment of hope, but it quickly fades. Back at the base camp, the situation's becoming more and more dire. Food supplies are critically low, and tensions are rising. And this leads to a controversial decision. They're going to try to capture Kong using a tranquilizer trap.
It's a desperate move, driven by survival instincts. But then the story throws in another unexpected twist. Before they can even put their plan into action, they encounter a group of sentient alien beings. And these are unlike anything they could have imagined.
They're described as these ethereal beings with bioluminescent bodies that pulse with light. And their communication is not through sound, but through these intricate patterns of illumination. It really makes you think about the possibilities of alien languages, how different they might be from anything we know.
It completely challenges our Earth-centric perspective on communication. And what's even more surprising is their reaction to Kong. They don't see him as a threat at all. In fact, they view him as a protector, a guardian of their world, someone who helps maintain balance against other dangers.
It's a total reversal, right? The creature they saw as a potential resource or even a danger is revered by these aliens. And of course, the tranquilizer trap, well, it backfires spectacularly.
Big time. Not only does it fail to capture Kong, who, by the way, is surprisingly adept at evading human contraptions, but it also ends up damaging the alien habitat. That initial peaceful encounter turns hostile almost instantly.
It's a classic case of good intentions gone wrong. The alien leader, described as this towering figure radiating this intense crimson light, he takes Kong captive and issues an ultimatum. The humans must leave Nexus 5, or else. They're not just stranded anymore, they're in a full-blown standoff with an alien civilization. And Kong, the being they thought they could control, is now at the center of the conflict.
Yeah, it's a tense moment, and it forces Captain Mercer to reevaluate the entire situation. This isn't just about the survival of her crew anymore. It's about the possibility of interspecies conflict, the need to find a way to coexist, even though it seems almost impossible at this point.
And Lena, she sees this as an opportunity, not just a crisis. She believes her connection with Kong and now his connection with these aliens could be the key to bridging that communication gap. And you know what? She's right.
That's the beauty of this flash fiction story, how it constantly subverts your expectations. Lena and a small team, they approach the alien stronghold to try to negotiate, and here comes the biggest reveal of all.
Yep.
The alien leader communicates through those luminescent pulses, and Kong, he can understand them.
And not just understand, he can actually relay their messages in spoken language. It's mind-blowing. It completely validates Lena's faith in his intelligence and provides a direct line of communication that no one could have anticipated.
Right, it's a game changer. But just as they're making progress, another twist. A rival faction of aliens attacks. They're totally against any kind of truce with the humans. It turns out peace on Nexus 5 is a lot more complicated than anyone thought.
So they're caught in this inter-alien conflict, and in the middle of this chaos, Kong's true nature shines through. He doesn't revert to some primal instinct. No, he fights alongside Lena and her team, protecting them, showing not just his incredible strength, but his loyalty, his understanding of the situation.
But then the leader of this rival faction unveils a weapon, something capable of wiping out everyone. And Kong, he doesn't hesitate. He charges the weapon, uses his own body to shield everyone else, to turn the weapon against their enemies. It's a truly heroic, selfless act.
It's a turning point. The alien leader who wanted them gone, he sees Kong's sacrifice, sees the humans fighting alongside him, and agrees to a truce. He even offers to use their advanced technology to help repair the Odyssey.
It's this incredible moment of cooperation born out of tragedy. It's a reminder that even in the vastness of space, empathy, understanding, it can bridge the biggest divides.
Captain Mercer. She realizes how wrong they were about Kong, how much they've learned about prejudice and the unexpected bonds that can form when you're facing the unknown. It's a powerful lesson.
It is. And in a bittersweet moment, Lena decides to stay on Nexus 5. Her connection with Kong, even in his death, and her desire to help foster this new, fragile peace between humans and aliens, it compels her to stay.
As the Odyssey, now repaired, prepares to leave, Kong, hailed as the guardian of Nexus 5, watches them go. It's a poignant farewell, filled with both sadness and hope.
The Odyssey departs, leaving behind not a colony, but a legacy of understanding and the potential for a new kind of interspecies relationship.
It's a story that really stays with you. Now, ready for a complete change of scenery, let's move on to our second science fiction probe, Dorian Gray in Space. This one takes us to a very different world and explores a whole different set of challenges.
It does. This time we're on Mars, specifically within the Mars Athenaeum, a center dedicated to preserving art and history. And that's where we meet Dorian Gray.
Yeah, and just like his namesake in that classic novel, this Dorian Gray has an unnaturally youthful appearance. He's working as an art conservator, painstakingly restoring this ancient Martian fresco. But there's a sense from the very beginning that there's more to him than meets the eye.
Definitely. The story hints at this hidden past, this portrait back on Earth that holds the secret to his eternal youth. It adds a layer of mystery to his character, makes you wonder how carrying such a secret has shaped his outlook on life, on the universe.
And then his quiet work is interrupted by Dr. Lena Evans and some members of the Martian Council. They come to him with an urgent problem. They've discovered this strange artifact on Phobos, one of Mars's moons.
An artifact that they believe is not of Martian origin. It's described as being active, having emitted an unusual energy pulse. And the Martian Council, they're hoping that this discovery could be the key to understanding, well, maybe even contacting other intelligent life out there in the cosmos. But there's a risk, isn't there? I mean, who knows what kind of power this thing holds?
Exactly. And Dorian, maybe because of his own unusual circumstances, he's hesitant to get involved. He mentions past experiences with, let's just say, cursed artifacts. But Dr. Mirov, she insists. She points out his unique knowledge of ancient artifacts and, more specifically, his perspective on matters of age and time. It's a subtle way of acknowledging his secret without actually saying it out loud.
Right, like a shared understanding between them. So Dorian reluctantly agrees, and they set off on this expedition to Phobos. And when they finally reach the artifact, it's described as this mirror with these swirling, indescribable colors humming with energy.
It's clearly something ancient and powerful, but the moment Dorian touches it, things go wrong. He feels this pull, this strange connection to the mirror. There's this blinding light, and suddenly he's in excruciating pain. And his youth, it starts to fade rapidly.
Yeah, it's like his carefully constructed world is crumbling around him. He realizes the artifact is causing him to age, to experience the passage of time that he's managed to avoid for centuries. And it's happening at an alarming rate.
Desperate for answers, for a way to reverse this, Dorian turns to the archives of the Mars Athenaeum. He immerses himself in these ancient Martian texts, hoping to find some clue, some reference to this artifact or anything like it.
But days of research turn up almost nothing. There are these cryptic hints about cosmic balances and ancient powers, but nothing concrete, nothing that can directly help Dorian.
So they're at a dead end. And then Jackson Riles, their astrophysicist, suggests a bold, even desperate plan. They need to look beyond Mars, to the outer reaches of the solar system, to find answers.
It's a huge gamble, but they're running out of time. They decide to seek out an oracle, a being named Sira, who lives in a floating temple somewhere in the outer rings. She's rumored to have this vast knowledge of ancient lore, of cosmic secrets.
It's a long shot, but they're willing to try anything. And when they finally find Sira in this incredible floating temple nestled within a nebula, she confirms their suspicions. The artifact is indeed a key to this ancient cosmic balance, and she warns them about something called the galactic heart, a source of immense power that they should approach with extreme caution.
Sira's warning, it's cryptic, but it gives them a direction, a purpose. Dorian assembles a new team, bringing together a rogue space pilot known for navigating treacherous routes and a reformed alien thief who has knowledge of the galaxy's hidden corners.
It's a motley crew, each with their own unique skills and motivations, but they're united by this common goal, to find the galactic heart and hopefully save Dorian.
But their journey, it's not easy. They face cosmic storms, asteroid fields, all sorts of dangers that highlight the vastness and the hostility of space.
And finally, they reach the nebula where the galactic heart is located. Hidden within this swirling mass of gas, they discover an ancient alien temple. And at its center, pulsating with light, is the galactic heart, this tangible manifestation of cosmic energy.
It's awe-inspiring, but also terrifying. And just as they reach their destination, they're ambushed. A group of mercenaries led by, of all people, Lucius Malvern, a figure from Dorian's distant past.
And guess what? Lucius, he also possesses this unnaturally long lifespan, and he's after the galactic heart for his own purposes. Suddenly, the stakes are even higher. It's not just about Dorian anymore. It's about preventing this power-hungry individual from getting his hands on a source of unimaginable power.
Right, the conflict becomes intensely personal. And during the fight, Lucius activates this device that starts drawing power from the galactic heart. It unleashes this massive energy wave that further accelerates Dorian's aging.
It's too much for them. They're outnumbered, outgunned, they're forced to retreat, barely escaping with their lives. Back on their ship, Dorian, he's visibly older, weaker. He knows they can't defeat Lucius head-on.
It's a moment of reckoning. Dorian, now facing his own mortality in a way he never has before, accepts that he can't cheat death forever. And from this acceptance comes a new plan, a plan that relies on outsmarting Lucius, using his own ambition against him.
It's risky, but they don't have any other options. So they return to the temple for a final confrontation. Dorian, despite his condition, is determined to stop Lucius, even if it costs him his life.
And inside the temple, Lucius is already drawing power from the galactic heart, making himself almost invincible. A desperate battle, a race against time.
But their plan, it starts to work. They create a diversion, disrupt Lucius's connection to the galactic heart. And in that moment of vulnerability, Dorian confronts him.
It's a clash of wills as much as a physical fight. And despite his weakened state, Dorian finds a strength he didn't know he had, a strength born out of his acceptance of his mortality and his desire to do what's right.
As Lucius falters, Dorian reaches out to the galactic heart. But he doesn't try to take its power. Instead, he makes a selfless plea, willing it to reverse the effects of the artifact, to undo the chaos Lucius has caused.
It's a powerful moment. The temple is engulfed in light as the galactic heart responds. When the light fades, Lucius is gone and the galactic heart falls dormant. But Dorian, he collapses. His long, unnatural life has finally come to an end.
But he dies, knowing that he saved the universe. He restored the balance, not by holding on to his youth, but by embracing his mortality. And his team, they leave the temple, carrying the memory of a man who became a hero by accepting his own end.
It's a story that makes you think about the true meaning of life, about the power of sacrifice. So we've journeyed to the depths of space, encountered alien civilizations, faced down powerful artifacts, and witnessed acts of incredible heroism.
Two very different science fiction probes, but both packed with those thought-provoking ideas and those captivating scenarios that make you want to keep exploring the galaxy.
What resonated most with you in these stories? What aspects of these future worlds would you like to explore further? Let us know.
That's it for this week's episode of the True Tomorrows podcast. Make sure to rate and follow the show for more captivating galactic tales every week. Until next time.